everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Sherry Turquoise and today I am doing a learning video on world building. So this series is going to be in 4 to 6 parts, not including the visual way of learning. They will be a separate video but also part of this series as well, but in a different type of way because they're for the computer screen. Now this one is probably going to have repeating writing tips on with the world building, because as I've done some research and I got a lot of them printed off now. Some world building tips go into vague details and vague tips, while others go into extreme details and so forth. And then there's one that's kind of like in the middle, and then there's a section where I've read where there's a whole rack of questions, so that'll be a separate video all on its own. So there will be different types of world building tips. So if this way might not work, maybe another world building tip video of a different way will work for you. And then there's going to be the separate video of the questions all on their own. So I hope that makes sense, because that's the way I'm planning on doing this video series. And before I do forget, I am planning on doing a collab. I do have a couple of people that have signed up. This collab will be taking place on Halloween, October 31st. If October 31st does not work, I am perfectly flexible if you do October 30th. It's just I am planning on it being a Halloween theme. So basically you could do writing tips that can equal to Halloween, like how to write horror or something like that, or your favorite Halloween story, or it can even be your campfire story that spooked ya, or something that or you can tell a story that something happened to you during Halloween. It can even be like one of those prank stories, or I'm losing my train of thought here. I had it all written down. Read, write, writing tips, read, tell a story. It can, and much more. I know I'm kind of breaking this apart. So basically you can tell stories of a story that you like, a campfire story that spooked you, or a Halloween story that happened to you, or you can do writing tips that's spooky, or it literally can be anything really, as long as it fits the Halloween theme. You can even dress up, which I'm planning on to once my costume gets here in time. I do have a spare costume just in case. So yeah, let me know down in the comments if you're interested in this. I know I may not make it sound like as thrilling as it is, but I'm really excited because this will be my first collab in doing so. So let me know down in the comments, or you can message me privately if you're interested in it. I'm still working out the kinks, or scheduling wise, I guess is the proper word. I'm still trying to figure all the minor details or big details, but I'm letting you guys just know this far in advance because I need to do some research to see how collabs work, because this will be my first one, and I need to do other type of research too to see how this is all gonna fit, and to give you guys a heads up too, just in case you guys need some time to come up with an idea to fit the Halloween theme. This way it gives you lots of time. And then I will do another confirmed video and announcement probably at the end of September. So this way I can make the list of who's all joining officially. because I know that's really far in advance, even at the end of September. Yeah, but that'll work best with my schedule, with work and that. So I will give you guys more details when I get there. And that will be soon because I am brainstorming. So let me know down in the comments if you would like to join the Halloween themed collab or something like that. I'm gonna have to come up with something better. But it's definitely going to be taking place on Saturday, October 31st. If that day don't work for you, I am perfectly flexible with October 30th as well. Both days are relatively fine with me. And I think that's it for announcements. So without further ado, I'm going to hop right into this world building tips. This video will be the vague one, like there's tips in it, but it don't go into details. So that will be another video on its own. Like the world building tips is still good, but if this don't work out for you then there is some more world building tips coming soon. And I will also do a computer screen on this as well. So without further ado, let's get started. World building tips for fictional world to make it believable. So the first thing, your character needs a place to stay, so it can as easily be this apartment. Your world could just be solely based on the apartment or the town that it's in, that your character lives in. It doesn't have to be like the whole planet unless it does evolve it. But you can start off like something small. So when you are world building, you're actually in a way making tip number 2. World building is actually in a way where you're kind of making your own character, but instead of a character with flesh and skin, it is the world that your flesh and skin character that's going to be living in. Because the world has their own senses, with the sense of smell, sight, and all that. More with the sense of hearing and feel, maybe sight. Definitely the senses, 5 senses are on the world building as well. And tip number 3, and if anyone's wondering what I'm looking at my notes here because I tend to get a lot of information mixed up, so this is the best way for me to give you guys information as accurate as possible. So tip number 3 is you should have lots of details of your world, about your world, but only share the important things to the the readers, and have the important information, all the information all to yourself. So the example is, let's say your main character goes to a coffee shop called, let's just say Starbucks. That seems to be a quite popular coffee shop in a way. It's a popular brand in a way. So your main character goes into Starbucks, and what we're seeing around him are the tables and the cashier and counter at the front and other customers. Boom, there's our world. Now, at one of these tables could be his old friend that he's no longer friends, or an enemy that he is trying to avoid, and he just happens to run into him in this Starbucks. It could be anything like that. The readers don't need to know where the coffee beans are stored unless that is going to be like a hiding place kind of thing. But it's still not randomly important-ish, like it kind of is and kind of isn't, if that makes sense. Another thing that might help is tip number 4 is outline your world. like do like a basic outline, of what's all going to be in the world, and then go into more details, like the government. How is the government run? Is there a government? Is there only royalty? Is there none of that? And then who's in charge? What is the law? What's the history, geography, all that fun stuff. And there's also more. Basically, the more depth you go into the world building, the better. Even if you just use 10% of the world building into your story, but it'll help build your world and your story a lot better. Some tips for world building: read books, read lots of books, and write down notes of what that author does what that author does to bring their world to life and how they use their sense. But don't copy them, because that's cheating. But use your own creative way to bring your world to life. And another good one is to watch movies and analyze how the world works there. Another one is good if you don't play video games but you like watching them. There's another good one. Or even playing video games. Video games will help too with the world building, because you get to see how the world operates there as well, and to see what their law is like and functionality. And you can also mix two different worlds. So let's say you like the Greek world, but you like also the Chinese cultural world. Let's say you like the Greek and you like the Greek world, and you like the Chinese world, or how the Chinese people are brought up and raised in that. You can mix those two together and make your own world that way. If you can draw, or even just do a basic draw of your map. If you cannot draw at all, Google Images is another good place to find some maps, just to use as a reference. Or you could, if you are comfortable with this, and you want to put in your story, you could hire someone that can draw your map for you, and then you can use that as a reference point. And history of your world. So basically, what I mean by this is write down the history of your world, basically. And I will admit this one, guilty as charged. I have not wrote down my history of my world yet. Well, I kind of have, because it's in the prequel of the book that I wrote, and I'm writing it during NaNoWriMo. But yes, you should have your history of your world somewhere in your series Bible, if it's a series, or even in your novel Bible, if it's a standalone. You should have your history somewhere in your notes. Landscape and animals. So what kind of animals are going to be living in your world? Are your world is going to have any forests? If so, what kind of forests, or what kind of animals are going to be living in this forest? Or is there going to be no forest at all, and it's going to be strictly land of deserts, or just oceans among oceans? So what kind of animals, creatures, and forests or landscape is going to be in your world? And your world background. So similar to your history section, but slightly different. Is your world going to have like futuristic kind of things, technology like Endgame or Ender's Game? Or let's do more Star Wars. Is it gonna be like Star Wars kind of same? Was that kind of advanced technology? Or is it gonna be like the 21st century, like what we have right now for tech wise? Or are we going to go back further into the medieval times? What kind of world background are you going to do for your world? And the last bonus tip is the world is not the whole story. It's just part of it. Now you probably could do the world as a whole story if you done it like a third person point of view, but I don't really recommend that unless you know what the plot's gonna be. So that's all I got for you. Always, and another thing that might help you, and just something to keep in mind, something that might help you is when you do your world building is to know what genre you're gonna write in, or at least the main genre. That will probably help you as well. So that's all I got for you today. Thank you for watching, and let me know down in the comments what you think of this world building tip. Do you think it was enough information, or do you think or do you think it needs to be in more detail? Let me know down in the comments and let me know. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get notified of all my posts. I post videos once a week, and I do live stream once a week as well, and I always upload bonus videos all the time. So click that bell icon to get notified of all my posts, and follow me on Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. Click the like button. It does help support my channel, and it lets me know that you enjoy these videos, and it lets YouTube know that someone else might enjoy these videos as well. So click that like button and leave a comment down below. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember, stay true to yourself and stay unique. Bye!